this business really could have broken me like 100,000 times. Like I want to quit like every day. Like I was like, okay, this isn't working. This isn't working. This isn't working. Like, but I just got up again, got up again, got up again, like a million times.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Anything But Traditional. I'm here today with my fave, Daniella Faye, aka Daniella Farin, aka Daniella Fega,
Take a
Fega Cavalea, and I'm so excited to have her here today. Daniella grew up in Chicago, and she has an incredible store. I know that you started with hats, and now you went on to more dresses, but I know that you are doing some hats again. Am I correct?
I started off actually when I was very young doing jewelry. And then I did head coverings when I got married. And then I did dresses. I always wanted to be a fashion designer. So I did the dresses finally. And then I kind of lost out on the hats and headbands because I was focused on dresses. So I was like, you know what? Let's bring it back. So we just brought it back a bunch of headbands that are really beautiful. We will be having a special sale on Shavuot. So whoever
Ooh, what's the coupon code?
we're gonna do like a special Shavuot style. It's gonna be like marked down for that.
Nice. Awesome. Is Dave still working with you?
He is, but since we moved into the store and somebody had to be home and I travel, so he's also a homebody, but he loves to cook and he's with the kids and he's does clean, does Baruch Hashem, like everything. So he works from home, but it's like more part-time and we hired somebody new who's very full-time, yeah, for already a few months. So
Wow.
of are going in our own ways, but like also he's still working. We still work together, but
But he's now trying to get a YouTube video of him cooking, right?
I mean, yes, we are looking for someone to partner with him like you, Tamar, to make like a YouTube channel for him because he's awesome.
Awesome.
And wow, and he's doing like small catering stuff like that.
Wow, shkoyach. That's very exciting. Okay, so let's get into it for real. Daniela, how did you grow up and what was your family like?
Wow, how did I grow up? What does this even mean? No, I'm kidding.
Wait, did you grow up?
Did I gr I st no, I haven't grown up. That is such a good point right there. No, I still haven't grown up. When I grow up, I wanna be, calm.
When you grew up, you want to be famous. You want
I wanna be calm. Wanna be healthy, wanna be calm. Retard's video also going on?
it will be on YouTube.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. Like my moves? Okay. Um, okay. Okay, how did I grow up? So my parents actually were both born in Germany after the Holocaust. Both in Munich actually, in a DP camp.
So
And
they're much older.
yes, my dad is as old as Israel. Happy birthday, dad.
Wow. So he's
Yeah,
77.
exactly. I never know. I'm just like they're the same age.
Naive. Okay, cool.
We just had Yom Ha'atzmaut. 77. Yeah, and so, yeah, they were born in DP camps, and they said, we could only have 2 children. That's what we could afford, back then. It's, pretty crazy. They had 2 kids, and then, my siblings were 15 and 13, like, around then, and they're like, "Wow, we're empty nesters," and all their friends had, like, little kids. They're like, "Hey, we want 1 more." So, Baruch Hashem, they had me. So, yeah, I'm not a mistake, okay, all those wondering. I'm, like, best friends with my sister. She's 15 years older. My brother is 13 years older. I love him a lot. He's awesome, funny, amazing. He owns a kosher pizza place in Chicago called Rocket Slice, and they have pepperoni pizza on it. So the first pepperoni kosher pizza in Chicago.
Cool.
Yeah, some type of vegan, but it tastes Dave used to eat non-kosher. He's a Baal Tshuva, and he says it tastes amazing.
But you're not Balchuva.
I am not, but I definitely got more religious the second I came to Israel, actually. I grew up modern Orthodox.
Do either of them live in Israel?
No, they live, like, down the street from each other in Chicago.
And your parents are also in Chicago.
Yeah, but
So,
they come twice a year.
wait, what's your maiden name?
Strick.
Oh, I never knew that. So, the whole Strick family lives in Chicago.
Yeah, shout out, Strick
A
fan.
What do your parents do for work?
So my dad works in real estate, I guess. Yeah, he, like, flips houses,
Cool.
um, redoes them, sells them. Baruch Hashem, my mom is an interior designer,
Do they
retired.
work together?
No, but
They
that
should.
idea. Yeah, I mean, sometimes she helps him, yeah. She just started painting, so now she's a painter.
Wow. So I'm curious to actually hear from you. You know, you worked with Dave for a long time. You still work with him a little bit. How is it working with your spouse?
I never would ever recommend that, and we knew going into it, we didn't, like, think, "Oh, this is a great idea." It was just what was. He's a salesman. We had a store on Hillel in Jerusalem, and he's great at sales. I mean, I have a story about that. I was in the store and someone's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, Dave's wife." And I was like, "Yeah, who are you?" And she's like, she wasn't necessarily dressed modestly. And she's just like, "Me and my girlfriends were walking down the street." And he's like, "Oh, hey, ladies, come in. I want to." And all of a sudden we left holding bags. So yeah, he's like an incredible.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Oh, if you don't like it, don't take it, you know?"
So
So yeah,
funny.
he doesn't like love sales. He likes meeting people. He's a very big people person. He needs to be
Where
with
did Dave grow up?
he grew up in Miami.
Oh, wow. So, is he Spanish?
His dad was born in Cuba and they speak Spanish. His mom is Israeli.
Oh, wow.
Her cook too. She's amazing and she's an like incredible cook. So
Cool. Okay, fine. Very nice. Okay. So now we're going to get into what happened at 15.
okay, I came, to Israel on a high school program called Nitzibot. It was like the end of 10th grade. It was a trip for 6 weeks. You go to a dorm and you dorm, with Israeli girls, and, during the week, you go to, like, a school. They made us our own class.
Does it still exist?
No, that does not. Nala exists,
Okay.
which was at the school I went to, actually. Nala is Noar Ola Lifnei Orim. It's a special program where it's a free high school education for girls and boys that come to Israel. They pay for all of high school. They pay for the ticket to come, and if you do Shirat Leumi in the army, they pay for college. Like, it's an awesome program. I was not on that program. I was just on the 6-week program. I stayed for Machach Ba'aretz, and I knew I was staying.
So how many weeks were you there for between that
Right,
and
6 weeks and then 3 weeks where I had no idea where I was staying, and my parents were like, "Where are you staying?" I was like, "I don't know, like, I figured out." So worried. And then I was staying at Machach and then my friend Avi, hi Avi, she was like, "Let's stay." And I was like, "Okay, that makes sense, like, we're Jewish." I learned, mitzvah yeshuva aretz, it's a mitzvah to live in the land of Israel. It's like, "Okay, this makes a lot of sense." And my neshama, I just knew it belongs here, like, you just know. When you know, you know. They say that about some things, this is something that you really know. Like, there's no question to live in America or here, like, you just know.
okay, and did Avi stay too or no?
So, she called me and her mom wanted to make Aliyah, she's very Zionistic, and she said, "That's an amazing idea, let me call the school, ask if you could try it for a year, and then if you don't like it, come back." And she was calling my parents and convincing them, and, like, the first time I called and I was like, "Hey, I wanna stay in Israel." They're like, "Ha, ha, ha, bye." They hung up the phone. And then the second day, like, "No, seriously," they're like, "Why?" And then I told them, and every day they said no, so I had to be right and argue and say yes. They shoulda just said yes. I probably just would've been like, "Never mind, that's a crazy idea," but when someone says no, you gotta, like, fight. Yeah,
Were you ever rebellious as a child
that
besides
was, like, my rebellion, I guess.
wow, so you were, like, a pretty good, like, goody
Yeah,
two-shoes, and
yeah,
you never got in trouble, and then you decided to make Aliyah
yeah, basically.
at the age of 15 by yourself.
I didn't, like that wasn't like, "I'm going to Israel and living here." I came for the summer and whatever. Just shows you can pack up your life in 2 suitcases.
Well, I also made Aliyah by myself in 2 suitcases and made Aliyah from within Israel. I remember your Hillel store, and I moved 10 times my first year in Israel. So, I, very much can relate to some of what you're talking about, not coming at 15, I came at 22, but I can relate to some of what you're talking about.
But really, it's crazy if you make Aliyah with families. I'm just like, "That's hard, okay?" Going yourself is not also when you're
I hear
15, you're
you.
a kid, you're in school, like, it's not like a thing that you're doing. You're not going in all these offices and doing things and
But
shopping.
where did you live?
So, it was a dorm, so it was like a Dati Leumi dorm, I'm a non Kfar Saba, in Israel, it's very popular to like dorm, and it's just like a regular Open B'nai Kiva. They would go home every other Shabbos, so I would just go to friends, and I have a great aunt in Hillel, my mom's aunt, so I would go to her every time I had a break during the week. But they got to go home, and yeah,
Wow. So did you end up going to college in America and Israel? Like when you came at 15,
I didn't go to
that was
college.
oh, you didn't go to college?
No.
Oh, okay. So we'll get into that in a second. Wait, but when you
Okay.
came at 15, you ended up just staying in Israel forever.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you didn't go to college. So what happened after you graduated this school, Netivot?
No, Amana. Um,
Amana.
what was the
Wait,
program?
why is it called Amana? Isn't an Amana like a widow?
No, Amana, not Almana, like with that.
Oh, okay. I hope everyone is being thoroughly entertained by Tamar and Daniela.
Gonna be like the best podcast ever.
Awesomeness.
Okay, so what did I do after high school? I did Shirt Lomi. No, I went to seminary, an Israeli one, Machon Ora. It's like Machon Meir sister school. And then I did Shirt Lomi. I was a madricha for Na'aleh, which is that program I was just talking about. It wasn't at that school at the time. It was at a different school in Bnei Brak. And then I did a silversmithing course for a year. It was this government funded course. It's like a trade school, I guess, and you had to get into it. You had to make like a project to get into it. And I got into it. It was every single day, all day for a year of learning how to be a silversmith because are we going back in time now?
Yeah, jewelry.
Jewelry. So I was at a wedding when I was very young. I can't remember how old, but maybe like 8, and I saw this older lady's seed bead necklace, like those tiny beads, and it was like a purse that she made. I was like, "That's the coolest thing ever." And she's like, "Oh," she said to my mom, "You should take Daniela to a bead shop." And she said, "Yeah, she loves arts and crafts and whatever." And, we went to the store and I started making jewelry and I made like a ton of it. And then I was like, "Okay, I have to sell it." It was like super expensive beads. And then I started selling in school at Hanukkah boutiques. And then I went to camp one year at Camp Moshava, Wild Rose, and I learned how to
Well,
crochet.
how
Yeah.
long were you at Mosheva for?
I went every year to Moshava, including when I was like older. Like I still want to go. I wish I can go.
Wait, so in your summers, you came back from Israel and went to Mosheva?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that you came back in the summers.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would come back and I learned how to crochet when I was like also 14. And I started a business with my sister called Tada Hats, which is her name's Tanya. So Tanya and Daniela, Tada Hats. And we sold in stores like around Chicago and Hanukkah boutiques. And then when I came to Israel at 15, I was making jewelry and I started selling to stores like in Jerusalem and in Tel Aviv.
Cool. Do you ever make jewelry still?
No, it was just very expensive, and I always wanted to be a fashion designer, like, I also
So
went to hair school, I forgot about that, I went to beauty school, I learned how to do hair and makeup. Yeah, I did my own makeup for my wedding, I did makeup for weddings and hair. Yeah.
you did your own makeup for your wedding?
Yeah.
Wow,
Then
that's
there was no, like, Instagram, so I, like, ran into this place in, like, Geula, and they made my makeup look horrible, like, bright purple or something. I don't know, and then someone else said I looked so, like, cakey, and I was like, "There's no Instagram where you can find all these awesome people like Leia
yeah.
and Eliana and all these, awesome hair and makeup artists." So I just did it myself, yeah. I wanted natural.
Wow. So do you ever practice hair and makeup anymore?
Yeah, I give them haircuts, my girls.
And your boys?
No, it's too hard.
Boy haircuts are harder than girl haircuts?
I don't know. I just know how to do regular.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, I knew when I was younger. Oh, I made my graduation outfit. I went to sewing classes, but I was like, "I don't wanna do this. I want you to just like, to the teacher, I want you to just make the clothing. I wanna design them." And, yes, I always knew I wanted to be a fashion designer ultimately.
Okay, so going back a second, when you were in Amana,
Mhm.
how was that being without your family? Like, were you ever homesick? Did you ever, like, just cry and were like, "Why the heck did I do this? Like, I wanna go home."
I'm such a weirdo. No. Very independent. Like, I went to China on my own. Like, I went to Turkey, went back in the day, many times. Like, I don't know, I'm very independent and, I don't know, I just knew it was right, it felt right, and, Yeah, it's weird. I guess it's weird that I didn't think.
Wow. But you're close to your family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also have, like, amazing like, I like experiences. I like going away for Shabbases, and I used to, like, do all that. Like, I still wish I could.
How
So
often did they come to visit?
well, they came, right. So, they came and they would even come, like, Sukkot and Rosh Hashanah, or I'd go there, then Hanukkah, and then Pesach, and then the summer, so I was with them a lot.
Did you ever think about going to college or no?
No. I wanted to get out of school, like, from 1st grade. It was really bad.
Why did you hate school so much?
Why did I hate it? Because I was so bad at it, and I feel so bad for my kids because it's, like, traumatic for people who are bad at it.
They're also bad at it?
They're not into it. It's very hard. Like, me and Dave are artists, like, my kids are, like, into everything but school like us.
You're creative
Yeah, we're all creative, like, so far on,
and
like,
you have
first.
massive ADHD, right?
Yeah, everything, yeah.
Were you diagnosed with ADHD?
Yeah.
Do you think that that was why you were like, "I'm now so much better than, like, my school because"
This is a good point of why I didn't miss home. Yeah, it was, like, so much better. I got my own little, like, tutors, and I was just learning a new language. I decided I never knew any Hebrew. Like, I decided, like, "That's it, I'm learning Hebrew." So I decided, and I was like, "I don't speak English to anyone." So
are
I
you
just
fluent?
yeah. So I just literally I would dream in Hebrew, I would think in Hebrew, like, I just went full force. Then it just shows you how the brain works. Like, if you wanna do something, I guess I have a good ear too. Then and I can't learn from, like, a piece of paper, like, in tests. Like, I can't read and write well, but I can like, I have to break my teeth to read and write, but I can speak very well.
Wow, interesting.
Just it's very hard for me to absorb, I guess, like, boring information. Let's just put it that way. No, I'm kidding. Like, they're teaching you about all these things that you never need in your life, or I'm just like, yeah, the way that they teach is boring, let's say. If they made it, like, interactive and exciting, it's very hard for you to pay attention, and, like, they're going so fast and talking about all these things, and, like, getting through all this information is just not the way that some people could learn. Some people need, like, a show, or get the kids involved in some other way. They can't sit there all day, so
Did you have a lot of friends at Ada Crown?
I had friends, Baruch Hashem, throughout school, yeah.
But, like, was that hard to leave your friends, or you were just like, "Peace"?
I was like, "Bye."
Yeah, no, that wasn't, like, a big deal.
No. Sorry, guys. Don't kill me. I love you all.
But you're still close to them
Kidding, I
today.
probably miss them, but, like, I don't know. I just
You're still close to them today?
one soul moved to Israel. Yeah.
Did they move to Israel?
No, it's hard to, like, be in touch. I don't know, I'm always, like, in touch with who's, like, near me. It's hard to be in touch with people who are, like, all over the world.
Yeah, no, 100%. I totally, totally feel you. Um, okay, so then
But when I see everyone, it's like nothing changed. That's, like, always how it is, you know?
that's so nice. Yeah, no, for sure. So how did you meet Dave?
I was a madricha. Every year I was a madricha, so in Israel I was also a madricha tiferet in Ramat Beit Shemesh
Oh. Wait, when?
after the silversmithing course.
Okay. And how was that? Like,
I
did
loved
you
it.
yeah?
Listening, I loved it. It was so fun. It was the best year of my life. Really, so fun.
Wow.
All the trips and the learning and the
Who were
girls.
your co-madrichot back in the day?
Shelby Atkin and Sophie Golding.
And then that's when you met Dave?
So no, after I was madricha tiferet, I was one of the summers of madricha for Israelite Rabbi David Aaron's program. He's the rabbi at Oraita, but he had a program called Israelite, which is like a birthright type of thing, but spiritual and for adults. So I was like one of the youngest people, like the students were older and different ages. And we did trips and we were learning and did trips. And we were at the Kfar Etzion Museum, which is funny because we're in Gush Etzion. The Sound and Light Show, the war museum basically, and he saw me, and apparently he sat right next to me.
He was like, "She's pretty. I'll go over there."
Like, he's like I kept turning his head apparently, and I was just like, "Oh, I've been here 100 times, let me focus, finally." Like, I always was spacing out, and this time I'm like, "Oh, I need to focus and, like, remember this because 'cause I've been here so many times that I never paid attention." Or, like, you forget. So, then I was walking down the stairs, he's like, "Hey, what's your name?" I was like, "Daniella." I was like, "What's yours?" He's like, "Dave." I was like, "Cool." He's like, "I'm a madrich." I was like, "Oh, I'm a madricha. Okay, gotta go." And I like
Wait,
went
what
to
was he madrich on?
so or sameach, the JLE. So he went up to his friend. He's like, "You see that girl? I'm gonna marry her." And he didn't do that before, for those wondering. And the friend told the story at our Shabbat brachas. It was really funny. But he went up to my rabbi and he's like, "Hey, I play music for groups. Can I come play for your group?" And he's like, "Sure, I live in Toccoa. I don't have an address. Like, you just go, there's no address and there's like no cell phone reception. You just like show up." So he like left his group, grabbed his guitar, took a cab from Yerushalayim to Toccoa. He's like, "Can you take me?" They're like, "No, no, no." All these people. And finally a cab said yes. And he got to Toccoa and he was playing music. And I was like, "Oh, hi." And then I was like recording him because it was really good. Too bad I don't have it, but, yeah, and then I was like, "Can I have a CD?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." Then he went back with us on our little minibus thing and just
Mhm.
asked me, like, a million questions. He's like, "How many brothers and sisters da 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 da. Do you like the Baal Shem Tov?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like, I didn't know the Baal Shem Tov.
Wow.
I was like,
Um,
"I see."
but he was
Like, it's
also like a flaming Baal Tshuva.
yeah, exactly. I mean, the one of the questions, "Do you like the Baal Shem Tov?" Like, this
Yeah.
first real date we have, he was, like, asking me all these questions. I'm like, "Do you have, like, a list or something?" And he pulls off, I was like, "Yeah."
Wow, that's so funny. And you met him in what year then? 2014?
You're asking me question oh, an hard question. I don't know years. No, for real, I literally don't know
Okay,
years.
fine. So
Mm,
you met him and you married him, and how long did you guys date for?
like nothing, 2 and something months, maybe 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
And then you guys got married and you
Mhm.
lived in your chavia.
Yes.
Why your
My
chavia?
parents bought an apartment thanks to me, so it's like my apartment.
Oh.
I'm kidding, but, it's mine. No, so they came to visit and my mom came for oh, I forgot to mention that. My mom came for, like, 6 months, when I was in 12th grade, so I really wasn't alone a lot of the time.
Oh.
Booked a ticket, she was gonna come for a few, she ended up loving it and staying.
Why didn't she make Aliyah yet?
she wants to, she really wants to. My dad's still working.
Wow, at the age of 77.
Yeah, plays pickleball, volleyball, like everything, golf, works. Yeah, to Baruch Hashem. So yeah, they came. I rented them an apartment. I was like, "Oh, my friend's renting an apartment in Shalim. I'm just gonna rent the other one that this lady owns." Like, I had no idea about anything. It's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take it." So I was on King George, and then she became friends with the neighbors, and then one of the neighbors was like a realtor, and then he showed her the apartment that they bought, like on top of Super Sol across from Great Synagogue, ugly building,
Okay.
like a famous ugly building on stilts, top of log.
Yeah, yeah.
I bought an apartment there that many years ago.
Wow. So you live there?
So we lived there when we got married, yes, till we moved to Efron.
Wow. So how
Yeah,
many years were you guys there for?
8 years we lived there. We had 3 kids.
Wow. And how big was the apartment?
It's 3 bedrooms.
Okay, cool. Very
Mm,
nice. Okay, and that's when you had your store on Hillel.
yes.
So how did you get your store on Hillel?
That's another good story. I was making head coverings and I was selling them like I was doing everything on my dining room table and I did pop-ups and they went really well. I first got into it as were my own head coverings and people were like, "Where'd you get that from?" And the word got out and I was doing pop-ups and it went well and I was making things on my table and then I was like, "Okay, gotta get out of the house. It's like too much." I think Dave was in between jobs and I was like, I found the Shlomo Katz trip to Uman. He's never been to Uman. So I was like, for his birthday, I'm going to send him. And I sent him, and he was like davening at the Baal Shem Tov. And I was with the 2 kids, my 2 older ones. And I was like living on King George. And I was like, Hashem, like, send me on the way. I was like, show me, like, find me the perfect rent with the perfect price and the perfect space and the perfect everything. And let it be the first thing I see. You got to ask Hashem for everything. And then I was walking, and my friend wanted to show me a different one. I was like, wait, should I go to this one or should I go to hers first? I said the first one. So let me just go to this one. It said no realtor fee. And it was perfect. It was on Hill and King George. Everything was great. And I was like, okay.
Awesome. And you only had hats at the time. You didn't have
Hats. And I was like, well, it's too big for just head coverings. It's not huge, but I want to make clothing. And my mom was always encouraging me. And she's like, "Yeah, go for it, make clothing." So,
And when did you give up on head coverings?
I didn't give up, but I stopped making headbands in the past few years because I was very focused on the clothing.
Got it. And when you say that you create clothes, I never understood this. You create the designs? Like how
I yeah, like, the first thing I did was find a pattern maker. She, like, makes the, like, cutout of the garment, like, the pattern, and I just told her what I wanted, like, "I want the sleeves like this, the dress like this is whatever," and then she would make a pattern, and I'd give it to, like, a factory to make.
and you
So,
still
yeah,
do that.
trying to manufacture, yeah.
Got it. And it's in like Tokyo or something?
It's in China now, but
China.
I did Israel this past year and, you know.
Wow, that's cool. So Daniela, I feel like we're talking about all these different things, but I'm gonna hit you hard here, okay? Your life was like twists and turns, obviously. But what was the hardest thing that you've ever gone through?
I've been through a lot of hard things. When I say like school was traumatizing for me, it's every single day of your life as a kid. So back then I would already be sick from the idea of school, like is the next day. So like my stomach would hurt or like this would hurt. I really did have like sinus issues and I had like surgeries by the time I was like a certain age. But
In your
um
nose?
yeah, like sinus.
Wow.
But I was always sick with something. I have endometriosis, so I had a lot of pain. Like really
So did
like
your
a lot.
endometriosis affect fertility at all?
I mean, I had miscarriages, but in the beginning, thank God it was in the beginning, but, no, thank God I always, like, thanked Hashem when I had these horrible pains. It was really like you can go to the hospital from the pain.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. And you've had a lot of health issues.
yes, I feel like it's really connected to the trauma of the school thing, like, it started then.
I wanna, like, get more into the school thing because I feel like you're like, "Oh, yeah, I just didn't it was boring," but, like, it sounds much more traumatic.
Boring, it's like you're gonna be a failure every single day. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna fail. You're gonna be a failure.
Were you bullied?
No,
No, like,
but
you always had friends.
oh, like yeah, but also my friends are smart because I'm smart. No, I'm
So,
not book smart, but I'm street smart, and they were all smart, and they're like, "Oh, what'd you get?" Like, A plus, A plus, and I'm like, "D for Daniela."
was
You
that,
know
like, actually what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, from an early age, you were just like, "I'm a creative," but
It
you
sucks. You're a failure every single day of your life, and you don't understand it, and it's degrading, and it's I don't know if that's the word. It's like upset what's the word?
dehumanizing,
No, it's just
deflating.
no, I don't know, it's just, like, you feel like a failure every single day as a kid, and you get nervous and anxiety and anxious, and, it's just very bad.
Were your siblings smart?
They're very smart, but they also didn't love school.
Got it. I feel like what kid loves school?
Some get by and are happy, and some don't,
Like,
but
struggle.
these days, they have, like, things for that, you know?
So, what do you think would have helped you back in the day as a student?
Here, they have smaller classes, meaning something called a small class, which is, like I think it's considered special ed, but that's how they say it, but, like, it's basically a smaller class, and they have a lot more help in those classes.
Got
I
it.
probably belonged in one of those.
Got it. Got it. Were you like an attention hog? Or like you were like, nobody pay attention to me?
No, it wasn't that, it's just the no, I was funny, like, I definitely attracted attention.
Yeah, were you like a class clown?
Yeah, like, sometimes, yeah.
What was the craziest thing that you did in class?
Nothing, like, crazy, it'd just be funny and, like yeah.
So you moved to Israel at 15 and then you created your store and you married Dave and you both had broken engagements. So then you guys ended up together and now you guys are happily married with 5 kids,
Baruch Hashem, yes.
but it wasn't easy to get to this point.
Still not easy.
Like, what's the hardest thing, I guess, like, in terms of,
My
like
business was very, very hard because I, who didn't go to school, didn't learn what anything is with having to manufacture clothing, make samples and designs. I just found a pattern maker and she kinda looked at me when I came to her, she's like, okay, this girl is gonna come and make one thing.
Wait, I just realized this. You never went to
What
school for design.
so so this lady was like, "Hey, this lady's wasting my time." She was Russian and really serious, and I was serious. And she's like, "Hey, this isn't going anywhere." Like in her head, she told me later on. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know anything. So what happened was I would just like manufacture things, and then after I got it, I was like, "Oh my god, my arms aren't going up. Like, why did you guys make this so small?" They're like, "We didn't. Look, you see how I measure it? You see how I do it?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know what he means by to see I measure it. Like, I don't know what those numbers mean. I don't know how to measure anything." So I was like, "No."
I
And then I realized that the fabric I used for the sample was stretchy and the fabric that I used for the production was not. So you couldn't lift your arms because it was too small. It's like tablecloth fabric. That's
Oh
not
my
like the only story.
god.
Like I had stories where zippers were all broken. You couldn't like open the zipper
Why?
because they were bad zippers. Like you don't learn to like test it enough. I had stories where things dye everyone's face is black and arms and bodies black, and it was like $50,000 of an order.
So how do you get this money to waste this money?
You make money and then you waste it. It's like, and then the taxes in both countries and 2 accountants, and it's like, it looks really amazing from the outside, and people think it's like, "Wow, it's so fun, you're a fashion designer." I'm like, "That's literally 5% of the job. You get to pick out things twice a year, and then you manufacture, then you have to deal with the process and the timing and the shipping and whatever." Basically, one day I was like, "Okay, I'm manufacturing in Turkey," I decided when I had a baby. So I took Kiki when she was a baby 8 times on a flight to Turkey from Israel back, and then like, "Hey, I wanna sell wholesale." So I went to New York, I jumped on a plane, I was like, "I'm selling wholesale." So then I was, like, trying to sell, and then I get back
Wow.
to Israel, and then the factors are like, "Okay, send us the size chart." And I was like, "I don't know what that means." And then they're like, and the grading, like, from size to size. I was like, "I don't know how to check that." And then they're like, "How do you want it packed? In this or in that?" Like, they had different terms. And I was like, "I don't know what that means."
Wow.
And I literally had, like, a panic attack, anxiety, like,
So
mental
you
break.
really learned everything from trial and
Oh
error.
my god. It's like Nike, just do it. But, like, insane amounts. I think I just heard someone say, like, Leos. I'm a Leo. I was born in August. I think they, like, have to make it that their whole life is, like, this crazy thing. I don't know, I feel like that's an ADD thing too.
It's really crazy when you think about it that you did everything through trial and error because, you have a big name. Like, I remember when I first met you, Daniela, I was such a fangirl. I'm like, Daniela said hi to me. Oh my God, Daniela said hi to me. Whoa. And like now, okay, fine. I'm like, okay, Daniela, it's just Daniela. Okay, fine. Like, like me and Talia have jokes about you. Like, like
Yeah.
like how ADHD is Daniela. you know?
Really bad. Like, my employees don't know what I'm saying because I'm just like, "Da, da, da, da," and it's like
Right.
understanding Daniela language.
Oh my god, that should be a reel. Talia, get that down. That should be a reel. Um Daniela language. No, but literally, like I've gone to her and she was working on reels before, and so we have fun, talking about Daniela
That's
Faye.
cute.
But no, I'm saying like it used to be like. Also, wait, I'm wearing a Daniela Faye top right now. I just realized that.
Better be. I do Oh, that's the blue. Okay, it looked, whatever,
No, it's
teal or whatever.
the blue
It's the blue one.
ribbed. What
Yeah,
is
I got
it called? Which one?
Dahlia Dahlia top.
It's the Dahlia top. When are we making a Tamar top?
I think I made it Tamar or something, but it'll have to come
Don't you
again.
have a daughter named something
Oh, that's the
Tamar?
one. Yes, I love Tamar. I love that name. Such a pretty name.
Anyway, so no, but and then when did Dave come into the scenes? Like, were you just messing everything up so much that Dave was like, "Wait, I got this,
Oh,
Daniela."
coming into the scenes, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I had 3 kids under 5, so they're like toddlers that run everywhere. It's like twins, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do anything without Dave, supporting me. He does everything. We have a deal.
Wow.
I do 9 months and he does life. It's a life sentence.
The oldest one is Dahlia.
Sheila, Dahlia, Kiki, Sviella.
Sviella. I like the name Sviella.
Sviella. Sviella, never thought of that.
It's awesome, Sviella. This week's episode will be right back. But first, I wanted to just remind you guys to follow, leave a review, leave a comment on Apple or Spotify or YouTube. I'm really happy that we have a new YouTube channel. It's been getting a lot of subscribers, so if you want to subscribe on YouTube, definitely. It's the new thing to do. I also wanted to remind you that there are ad opportunities and sponsorship opportunities, so definitely feel free to be in touch if you are interested. Also, I work as a content creator. I do influencer marketing and social media management. You can look at my website, tales-of.com. Don't forget to shop Daniella Faye sale for Shavuot. And yeah, just so happy that you guys are all listening to this incredible story. Again, make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. Leave a review, a comment, rate the podcast, give it 5 stars, and back to this episode. But what other stories do you have to share about like how crazy it was to do this whole thing trial and error? Like, do you ever wish that you went to school for it?
I wanted to. I actually tried. I tried getting into Shankar, but I didn't get accepted because I don't know why Hashem didn't want me to.
What is Shankar?
Shankar is like a top fashion school in Israel, design. You have to have Bagrut. I didn't do the Bagrut. It's like the test you need
Mm.
in Israel, but they actually were making an exception, and I still didn't get in because I'm not talented.
Boy,
But no, it's fine.
wow.
And I was like, I gotta prove them wrong. You know, a lot of people go there and don't do anything with their lives. So
Yeah.
in the end, I wouldn't have probably liked it. You have to do a lot of studying, school, this, that. It was not meant to be.
So how did you become like a brand name, right? Because people like, you know, your brand name nowadays. Like you make really good clothes. I wear them almost every day. I have other friends that wear it like almost every day.
Shout out all our RBS customers. We love you.
Yeah, everyone should go to the sale. No, but I literally like your name nowadays. Like, you know, I talk to people and I'm like, yeah, Maya Namdar and, you know, Daniella Faye, you know, and people like,
I was the best.
yeah, my fave, besides for you, obviously. Um, but, you know, so how did you do it? How did you become this name?
So I want to say two stories. One, when I was little, I wasn't fitting into like clothing. I was looking bad in them and like skirts and stuff. Like my hips were always bigger than my top of my body. So it just looks very bad or didn't fit. And I was like, if I'm having a problem, then so many other women are having a problem because I'm not even like overweight. Like I might have been bigger, but I wasn't like big, honestly. And
You were just a pair.
I was just regular, yeah, like a pear shape, let's say. I am bigger on the bottom, like, I'm a 6'8" on top, 10, 12 on the bottom, like, everyone knows from my videos because I try and share how things work and my sizes, and you probably heard it a million times, and I was like, "Can't find anything," and I looked bad and felt bad about myself, so I was like, "How many other ladies are gonna think the same way?" And this is such a need. This is back then, so many years ago, however many years ago, when I was a kid. You know, I'm turning 36. So many years ago, there's no plus size, there's no nothing. So it was always my dream to make bigger sizes like my whole life. And when I started, I didn't do it right away because I couldn't. You have to have enough of a minimum for bigger sizes. It's not on one cutting table. That's the
Ah.
reason not everything comes in bigger size. If I don't get enough orders from wholesale, I can't make the plus sizes unless somebody wants to fund it and make like a minimum of plus sizes. I can't make it. I only can make what I get orders from in New York, and then like I add a little bit, and then that's how it goes.
I've spoken to a few different people about your clothes over the years, and some people are like, "Why doesn't she make things more for plus size?" And it's so interesting that you can't. I don't think people understand that. Like, can you talk a little bit more about like how that works?
We have like 100 pieces of like size 1X, 2X, and 3X, and we're not getting that many orders, and we can't make it and then be stuck with 90 pieces or 80 pieces. So we could only
Wow.
make what stores order. We base our orders off of what stores order in New York. So we go to New York, take an order, whatever they order. They order this green dress, blue dress, and purple dress. They order this one until extra large and this one till plus size. So I could do that one in plus size because they're adding to my order and I'm adding. So,
You're saying the stores do that.
the stores are no, when I manufacture something, there's a cutting table and they cut 5 sizes on a cutting table, extra small to extra large. So when you have a whole new cutting table, you need to give a big enough order for them to do a whole new cutting table.
But when you say that people put in the order,
In New York, if stores order from me, when stores order from me, if they're not ordering for their plus size women, then I'm not getting enough of an order to make an order in China.
Oh,
I don't have
interesting.
enough sales in those sizes enough to make 100 pieces. So
Got
if anyone
it.
ever wants to fund it, I'll be happy to.
So your vision is still to make more plus size clothes.
I always have plus size, always, every single season, but it depends on the orders that I get from New York. It's all dependent on that.
Interesting.
And if people are really passionate about it and wanna be, like, a partner in that, like, I'm so happy for them to.
So what is one dress or piece of clothing that you made and you're like, this is gonna be a massive success and it failed miserably?
Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't thinking you were gonna ask that. I was like, what was the most successful piece? And I was gonna say the piece I'm wearing now is the swing dress. I made it that was one of my first 3 dresses that I ever made, and I wear it, but least successful, there's so many, I mean, I lost track. I don't know.
No, I
The
wanna hear
funniest
like
part
one
is,
of
like,
them.
all my
Yeah.
mistakes were on the biggest orders I've ever made. So the maxis were a $50,000 order that oh, one so many stories, but another velvet set that I've ordered 800 of them, they were fluffing fluff balls all over, like, people were walking and it was leaving a trail. So we had to, like, donate most of them, like, or give away to the like, I gave some to the army one like, on October 7th, I gave to all the girls to wear, like, underneath their uniforms because it was cold. But,
Wow.
throw out yeah, whatever, donate, give, yeah, there's a lot of stories like that. One of the craziest stories were, um, when I manufactured in China. There's, agency that basically takes your order and sends it out, and they had another customer of theirs from Australia. The Australian people didn't pay for their order, and this Chinese factory is like, "I'm not giving you Daniella's order because they didn't pay." So I had an order of I don't remember how much it was, but it was my entire season of summer. I had to cancel all my stores. I didn't have anything to sell that season. I lost all my money. I paid already. They wouldn't give me my money back. I paid,
Wow.
when you do international transfers, so I paid $20,000,
Wow.
in a wire, something like that, and that was really bad. I was, like, super depressed and anxious, like, it's a heavy weight. You're supporting your family. Dave works with me, but it's on both of us, and that's the only income, so it's a huge weight that you're carrying around, and all these mistakes are always a huge weight. So that was, like, a really hard, tough that's a long period of my life. It recently just started getting better because I have 2 people working for me. One is full-time on the production, finally, like, it was really a miracle from a shop, and one is on the back end, and before this, it was just me and Dave, and we were just, like, drowning all the time.
Were you drowning financially?
We definitely had to get help from our family. Yeah,
Wow.
Baruch Hashem. We also lived in my parents' apartment. My parents have always supported us, like, in both ways, but yeah, it was definitely a struggle. I thanked Hashem every single day. I read this book, Say Thank You and See Miracles. Thanked Hashem every single day for a year, and after the year, I said to these people in China, "You know, if I get my merchandise back, I can make a $50,000 order." And literally 4 days later, I got it back.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, so back to your brand name. So
Yes.
how did you become such a brand name?
So this is a shout out to my sister-in-law, Shelly. I was on Facebook. I did a whole bunch of giveaways right away. Like, they didn't have giveaways like so many years ago. Nobody was really doing giveaways, and I would do bigger giveaways, and, that's really how the word got out on Facebook, and my sister-in-law was like, "You need to go on Instagram," and I was like, "I'm not tech savvy, like, I'm a grandma." So I know how to open Facebook and that's it. And she's like, "No, you gotta go on Instagram." I'm like, "I don't understand it. I don't get it. What's the point of it? I have Facebook, it's doing well. I don't need it." She's like, "No, no, no, Instagram's where it's at." I was like, "Fine." So I was like, literally you can scroll down. I wonder if I hit it. But I was like, I don't know what to post. Like, I don't get this thing. So I posted like J-Lo in like a yellow dress. And I was like, look at J-Lo in yellow. Like flowers. And then like, I don't even know.
Wow.
I don't know what I'm doing. But then I caught on. I was
Yeah.
watching it and I saw all these fashionistas. Like, the first one was Fashionisha, Sharon Langart. And I messaged her and I was like, "Hey, do you want to collab?" And Eliana, Aisha Style, and Fashion by Tamar, and my fashionology, Rivka. So I messaged all these big influencers at the time. They were the only ones in modest fashion. It's not like today everyone new pops up and grows in like one day. And you're like, who's this Jewish and religious and modern and every day
It's
there's someone new,
crazy.
right?
Oh
It's
my god, every day.
not impressive when you're like, oh, I have this many followers. It's like, yeah, they started yesterday and they have more.
Yeah, I know. It's so
So
frustrating.
crazy. So those were the only people and I would just collab with them.
Just so you know, I often say, I'm like, when people are like, "Oh, how many followers do you have?" I'm like 12.6, almost 12.7, but my impact on the world is much
Engagement.
greater.
And your engagement's amazing.
My engagement, Baruch Hashem, is amazing, but I'm just saying, like,
It does
the
numbers
miracles that have come into this world through my platform, that's what
amazing.
I try to focus on. I'm like, yes, my platform's great, but like it's not about the numbers. It's about the fact that like there are many, many, many children, Baruch Hashem, that have been born, partially due to this Tefillah initiative or this challah baking initiative. And I think that's very important. And I think that like so more than the numbers is like, okay, well, what's my impact?
That's the actual importance of
And for
life.
you, it's like, what's my
Agronomic
sales?
numbers are 0 when you go to Shemayim. You're actually
Right.
acting.
So I'm saying, and yours is probably like sales and how many people are like loving what they wear now.
Yeah, I need to support our family in Israel, so it sells, totally.
Right. But also, like, I'm saying for me, in terms of you, like, I used to look like a schlump every single day. And I'm not saying I look amazing. Now I'll like look at my closet and I'm like, oh, these are my Daniella Faye pieces and these are my Maya's place, you know, pieces. And like, that's my wardrobe now. And like, I wouldn't have been able to look nice or nicer than I would have if it wasn't for you guys. And that's a confidence boost, and I think that
Crucial.
as a fashion designer, you are able to boost people's confidence, and that's the impact that you make on the world.
Yeah, also, I hope things like this will help someone, I think, more than the fashion boost, and I mean, that's great too. If someone's able to look good and feel good, that 100% is making an impact, but hopefully someone hearing this episode won't feel so bad about, themselves or they'll help their kids, and my mom was always cheering me on and signing me up for art classes and just pointing out the good. If you point out the good in your kids, they're gonna end up like me. They're gonna end up, and this is true for kids that are good at school. You point out the good things that your kids were and for ourselves. It really starts with ourselves. If you say to yourself, "Oh, I'm such an idiot. I'm so unorganized. I'm such a this. I'm so unhealthy," then you're gonna stay that because that's what you're saying you are. So you are going to be that. If you're saying, "I'm so proud of myself. I just ate a healthy meal. I'm so proud of myself. I just worked out. I'm so proud of myself. I just did something to help someone," then you're going to be happy. And the negativity brings depression and self-consciousness and all that stuff. So yeah, hopefully
That's
that will.
amazing. So, like, really, influencer marketing helped you build your business.
Yes, I just sent a whole bunch of packages. These days, it's much harder. You have to pay influencers thousands of dollars to get where I am today.
Yeah.
And
No,
for
it's
our
crazy. It's really crazy. Influencers can charge a lot of money.
because it's their business, just like social media managers need to charge, and just like I need to charge a lot of money. Like,
No, for sure, but I also think in some ways it can be ridiculous sometimes for
I guess,
like one reel, $3,000, and it's like
right.
you have not that high of a reach. Why are you charging me that much?
I get what you're saying.
Um, but wow. So Daniela, what is your favorite pieces that you've created?
Okay, so this is the thing. Since I've been manufacturing in China and it's been like mostly on a computer, let's say, because you're going back and forth in emails, like you're not doing anything physical. I feel like I wasn't able to be creative. And I also have these deadlines now for this wholesale show that I go to twice a year, which is incredible because it really helps me put my line together. But because of all the deadlines, I guess this is true with anything with first you're like excited and creative. And then when it turns into like thing that I'm sure you were too about social media. Like when it turns into something you have to do, it gets a lot harder and it kind of sucks the fun out of it. So because I have all this stress and deadlines, truth is I have time now. I can design the summer collection and spend extra time, but I'm also a procrastinator. So I'll be like, oh my God, the show is in like 8 weeks. And then like one day I'll design my entire collection. Literally just happens. I thought I had till this summer to design next winter when I had to the summer to deliver my goods. This just
Oh,
happened to me. That's what
wow.
happened.
Wow.
all over the place. So now I have time until Rosh Hashanah where I should really sit down and work on my designs, but there's no but. I should do that. Okay. But I'm, like, all over the place, so I'm just like I even printed out this huge calendar over here because I need to come to work more often. I get so ADD and I'm like, "I need to go there. I need to do this. No, let me do that." And, and I procrastinate, but yeah. So nowadays it's, like, very basic stuff, which honestly, when I get the collection, I'm like, "Wow, I really love it." Like, the fabrics, the colors, the sizing, the fit, everything is, like, amazing. I'm, like, so happy even though I was like, "Oh, I didn't even do anything." Like, everything's so boring. I'm actually happy with the product and which is amazing. So I'm so happy, but the creativity and the creative part where I used to make things in Israel, so I would be able to, like I made a dress that was 16 different, like, pieces of fabric
Wow.
or 19, which cost me tons of money to make. Like, people don't realize how much money goes into this. Um, yeah,
Wow.
and I would be more creative. I had, like, this leather, like, jacket coat, what had, like, the leather in the front of it and pockets and a belt, and I can show you these pictures. And yeah, also my, jewelry.
Wait, so roughly what is your markup on these items? Like, meaning if it costs so much to sell, like, if it costs so much
So it's
to
originally you think
make.
it's, like, a high markup, but because of all the expenses, it comes out to, like I don't know, I can't tell you exactly, it's also yeah, I can't even tell you exactly, but let's say you think something costs you $20, especially now with the tariffs, and you're like, $120 you're selling for, that's amazing. It's not, because you have taxes, meches, shipping, warehouse. Our warehouse bills are sometimes more, the inspection, sometimes shipping by air, which costs sometimes almost as much as the product, like,
Wow.
insane things that come up, account to accountants, employees, air, like, I don't know, storage here. There's so many expenses that it's not like we're just like, "Oh, let's just make so much money and charge everyone so much money." It's not like that. It's like we're just,
Wow.
you know
Wow.
that's
So
why things are, marked up. If you wanna be like a brand designer and you're talking like Chanel bag and you're like charging $5,000 when that probably cost them a few $100s, that's
yeah.
okay.
So I wanna wrap up here, but I wanna ask you, like, 2, 3 more questions
By the way, I'm
before
not
we
saying
do.
things cost me $20, just so you guys know. Everything is so different. There are things that can
She
cost me
doesn't know numbers.
I don't know numbers. I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
Numbers or dates.
But at the end of the
Don't
day
ask.
don't ask me dates. Um, at the end of the day, it's just not that number. It's just not the cost. It's all
For
these
sure.
expenses
Do you
around
know
it.
when your kids are born? Do you know their birthdays?
Oh my god. Yeah, but, like, the years I get confused. Like, I know, but, like, not. I have to
Um, so, what has been your favorite part of creating the store and the brand, and what has been your least favorite part?
least favorite part has been production on my own. Now that I have a production manager, I guess I could call her, which came to me from Shemaim. She's actually Chinese. Yeah.
And she works in Israel?
So she's a Gioret, moved to Israel, and like, a guy that I actually knew from high school, he's in charge of all the lean in Efrat, and he's like, "Oh, a fashion designer, I'll reach out to Daniella," and I, like, met her, and I always say no to, like, these random things because, like, I don't know, it's just usually a waste of time, and I'm not looking for that, and da da da, but I was like, "Yes." Well, sometimes when you say yes, things will come to you, so it's good to say yes. And I was like, "Sure." And she came and she told me that she literally did production management, let's say, for other company like, that's what
Wow.
she's trained in fashion, like, real, like, making patterns, like, she's a professional. And I was like, "Okay," like, "I'll try it." And, Baruch Hashem, like, Hashem really blessed me, and I'm like, "You don't get it. You're doing a chesed. You don't understand. Like, don't leave me, like, you are doing a chesed because she's very, very from she wanted to learn Torah full time. She actually quit once, and I almost had a heart attack. Like, I had a like, it was not good. She's like, "I wanna learn
Wow.
Torah full time," so she quit. So, blame her, Baruch Hashem, now she's back. But, yeah, she basically is very professional and amazing, and I was like, "You don't get it, it's a mitzvah, to be here, I promise you're making people feel so good about themselves, you're doing a huge mitzvah." She's like, "Oh, wow, okay, yeah." So yeah, thank God.
Love
Best
it.
part is, yeah, when customers tell me how good they feel, how they finally feel clothes that fit them, how they're, sensory and they finally feel something and they look good and they feel good and they can buy it. And, we always have a sale going on. Like if it's too expensive, like you said before, and whatever. So some people, there's always like a warehouse sale. There's a warehouse section on our site. You can find things for like, I don't know, from like $19 to
Wow.
$39. So there's always something for everyone. And my favorite part is, yeah, when people like are like, will even shop and be so happy. And that's amazing. And then also the connections I get to make through social media, meeting you, and hearing your story. I love
Aw.
hearing, the inspiration and the seeing your resilience. I think
Thanks,
that that's something
Daniela.
have in common. I'm pretty resilient. This business really could have broken me like 100,000 times. Like want to quit like every day. Like I was like, okay, this isn't working. This isn't working. This isn't working. Like, but I just got up again, got up again, got up again, like a million times. Like whenever you get up, you feel like you're get knocked down again.
Was it hard to be pregnant and raise your kids through all of this? Well, I guess raising the kids with Dave, but, like, was it hard to, like I'm just saying what you said.
I have endometriosis, so it's harder for me to not be pregnant.
Boy.
Right. We didn't even talk about my medical things. That's another whole thing, but that's hard with the business because you don't know when you're gonna feel okay. So I could never plan anything. Like, people would ask me to speak or to come to school and da da da, and I couldn't plan because I was like, I might be sick that day. Even now, like, I could
Yeah,
cancel.
you've done a bunch of different treatments.
Yeah, I did treatments and I'm on antibiotics full time. It's really
What
bad.
do you have?
An autoimmune disease, it's called CVID. It's like an weak immune system, and I just catch things and yeah.
Boy,
So,
I'm so sorry.
like, it's not like dangerous, but it's just,
And I know that you've done IVIG.
and that, like, almost killed me. Couldn't breathe, like, 3 times, so I stopped that and got, like, a migraine. I had meningitis once before. I had a meningitis headache from it. It was yeah,
But,
so
like, even your event at the Wig Box, right?
I
How
got sick after that.
how did you plan that day?
I did it the day before.
No, but I'm saying,
I
like,
did
how did you
everything.
know, like, "Oh, I wasn't gonna be sick that day"?
If I was sick, I'd probably just go and, like, take a ton of medicine because that's my life, and I got sick right after, really bad.
And okay, so today you have 2 stores, one in the Frat
At a store in the
and one
front,
at the Wig Box.
wig wax, and RBS in Vermont Beach, in someone's house.
Oh, right. Right, the one in your motivation, which is
In
somebody's house.
Israel, online America, and American Dream Mall, and, Hollywood, Florida, Modest, Market, which is a cute store in Hollywood, Florida, so we're in there. We're online in both countries, and, we're at retail stores around America, Panama, Mexico, and it's really cool, Baruch
So
Hashem.
what is your website?
DaniellaFaye.com for Israel, DaniellaFayeUSA.com for America, and we're
And
revamping it.
if people wanted to get in touch with you for any purpose, where should they find you?
Um, should I give everyone my address? I'm just kidding. Not to make you laugh.
At fratafrat.com.
Fraudafraud.com. No, they could message me on Instagram. I'm actually looking for a COO. This is like a new thing, for operations, basically, and growing the business. That's what we want to do. We want to grow the business. It could be so much more successful than it already is because there's so many more people online these days and all over the world and modest and yeah. So we're looking for someone to manage that, especially because Dave started a new career in cooking, catering, small business here in Efrat. If someone wants to take out food and yeah,
I want takeout food from Dave.
not a joke. Whoever's listening,
Um,
they could sponsor.
so how could somebody get Dave's food?
They could do it through me or davefarin@gmail.com.
Okay, amazing, amazing.
This is important. I do raise money for army wives and families in Dagon to help my community. First, you have to help yourself, your family, then your community. I'm only at that step because we can't get to all of Israel, which I wish that I could. But yeah, I raise money and Dave cooks the food and we send it to
Love
family.
it.
And the more we can get, the better it is. So davefarin@gmail.com for Zelle too.
So, last question. Do you have a favorite pasuk or quote that has been inspirational to you, that keeps you going, that keeps you, getting up every day? What is it?
I have a hard time getting up every day. I'm not kidding, that trauma was real. It's a struggle to get out of bed. I'm not joking. I have a mentor and I did her course. She does like an Israeli course. So I did it a few times because it's that good. And I love and accept myself as I am. And it is so important to love and accept yourself as you are. It's easy to say, it's hard to do. She recommends saying it for 5 minutes in front of a mirror every day. But if you don't love and accept yourself and you're pretending that you do, your kids and your family and your friends will feel the same way. If you don't accept yourself, nobody around you is going to accept themselves. They won't feel good about themselves as much as they say, oh, you're so beautiful. You're so amazing. You're this, you're that. And then you tell yourself you're a piece of whatever, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not this. They feel that. So that is the most important, starting with you.
Very nice. So start with yourself, then your family, then your community, and then all of Amisrael.
Which we're doing online. We're able to do this for all of Amisrael.
In Mir Hashem, it will be listened to by many. And Daniella, you are remarkable as always, and I love our friendship. And
I'm so
I
grateful we met.
I had to come hang out with your kids again. That was
Yes.
the funnest
Yeah.
thing ever.
They were drawing all over Tamar. They were just like making her tattoos.
I want to come to the Dagan for Shabbos, so
Okay.
maybe we can come.
Yes, for sure. That'd be
You
great.
you really want Giddy and Dave, just so you know, that will be a dynamic duo.
We can't do it on Shabbos. We're gonna have to record it. It will be way too good to not
They
record.
will be whacked. Anyways, Daniella, I'm so happy that you came on finally, and thank you for your patience today. And
Of course,
all the best.
Thank you. Bye.